Paramotor Podcast. If you're listening to on iTunes or your favorite podcasting app, clearprottv.com if you are watching it someplace on YouTube. And we appreciate you jumping in here real quick. Let's go ahead and introduce everybody on the panel, which you guys probably already know. I mean, this is episode 91, season 2, episode 91. Hey, you know what? We are creeping up on season 3 really soon. This can be so awesome. We got Will Fly, willflyppg.com. What's up, buddy? How you been?
Doing good, man. Just got down from a nice flight after not being able to fly for a few days. So, hey,
jumping in. Uh-oh, I think that's JP Tulo. Yeah, that's JP Tulo. Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize for JP Tulo. Go ahead and continue, Will Fly.
Up on my intro.
I know, he just like jumped.
All right, brother. Karma's coming around to you.
It wasn't me. I was starting I played the video, the live stream. That was actually Sean's voice that jumped in on you.
Yeah,
but I muted it. Carry on.
All right. Well, I said what I said. You can find me on YouTube under Will Fly or willflyppg.com, like making videos and flying paramotors.
I think we all do. I think that's why we're here. You know, if you're a paramotor pilot, you have a YouTube channel. And if you're a geriatric, somebody else does it for you. Right, John Wayne? Are you out there, buddy? All right. We also got Jim from Canada. What's it all about up there, buddy?
Oh, things are going good. It's getting a little bit cooler. Looking forward to some long flights through the day. Hopefully the snow lands soon. I can't believe I'm excited for the snow.
I can't believe that either, because I'm definitely snot ready for no snow. Snot at all, buddy. But we'll definitely need to talk more about Canadian snow. It's a little bit different, right?
I
guess. All right. Thanks, Jim, for jumping on the show. We also got ParamomUSA.com. That's our Linda Anderson. How you doing, girl?
I had to mute myself.
Yeah,
I'm ready for the snow. It's been unseasonably warmer here. Usually by October, we're already waiting for the snow to roll in, and it's been like in the 70s, and then we're getting storms here and there. But anyway, yes, I'm Paramount USA. My son does the paraglidingchalk.com on Thursday night, so that's kind of how I started hanging out with all the para people, and it's been an adventure ever since. I don't fly, but I just hang with my para family, and I love y'all, and it's a great time.
As we're introducing people on here, anybody that's out there who loves to fly in the snow, because I guess we're going to be talking about snow flying here in a little bit. I already see some hands popping up, but how about out there in the chat? Do you guys fly in the snow? How cold do you what's your cold limit? I mean, I think mine's like 40, maybe 45, but I guess we'll go on from there. Hey, speaking about cold, we got Flying Flamingo Jade and PPG Lear, husband and wife, trike and foot launch peeps. They're both on mute, so hopefully one of them will come off mute and say something. Welcome, guys.
Hi there. I'll go first this time. You can check me out with Cupcake Krista on Wednesday night at paramotorgirl.com, and we have a show called Girls Just Want to Fly, and it's at 7 p.m. Central. And this week we have one of our good friends that's usually in the chat, Deweese Milstead from Petal, Mississippi.
I like Deweese. She's sweet.
She is a trike flyer, and she is going to tell us all about her experience of aviation from the past until what she's gotten herself into just recently.
Cool. And you, Mr. Lear?
Well, hey guys. I'm just here. I'm here to discuss. We're going to discuss wings tonight. Is that what we're doing?
Wings and packing of reserves, and I guess anything paramotor.
Awesome. Well, I'm here to support this channel.
Well, we appreciate you being here. Thank you very much. We also got JP Tulo in the house. He's our TikTok Tulo, and the only guy that I know that gets 2 million views on his cat hitting his junk. What's up, brother?
It's 1.9, but I'll count it. Um,
I'm gonna say 2 million because I round
what's
up.
going on, guys? Yeah, just here to talk paramotors. That's what we're all here for, right? Gotta love it.
Absolutely. Well, we
I'm
appreciate.
kind of shaky though. It's been a little while since I've been up in the air. I'm starting to get the sweats and like a little nervous tick. Getting antsy, man. Definitely got to get back up in the air soon.
Definitely.
Anybody else get like that when they haven't flown in a little while? Anybody in the chat? Yeah, you guys?
Absolutely. I know I do.
What's a
The
little
little lady does. She
Yeah.
gets very antsy if she doesn't get to
Absolutely.
fly.
They're all going like
What's a
Speaking
little
of-
while, JP?
What's that?
What's a little while? What do you
A
consider?
while. It's been a couple. I think about 2 weeks.
Ooh,
Wow.
Right. Right. Like
you gotta go
I
to
would
training.
say like around a week is typically pretty good. I'm just gonna.
Oh, poor JP. Gosh.
Yeah, that's
Sure
no
you're gonna be
good.
okay eating all that? I don't know.
Save that for after the show, man.
Right.
Business for pleasure.
Absolutely.
And look who's saying that, Will.
Well, I finished mine before. Well, not quite. Not quite. I still have a little something going on here.
Hey, this is a paramotor podcast that you can actually eat on if you want to, as long as you put it on mute. That's it. Just put it on mute.
Nom, 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 nom.
Nom, nom, nom.
There you go.
Unless you num it, right? Let's see, who do we have in the chat tonight? We have Daniel Roosh, Never Trust a Skinny Chef
Okay.
Shane. Huh? Justin Low. I don't have my glasses. Who can name off everybody in the chat for me? I don't have my glasses. Anybody see?
I don't-
Daniel, you mentioned Daniel, Shannon Brooks, PPG, the other Nick, some guy named Eric PPG Lear, and yeah, you'd never trust a skinny chef, Flying Flamingo, Justin M. Lewandowski. Did I say it right? I hope I did. Yeah, that's it for now.
Big
Awesome.
Lou, dude. Okay, if you guys haven't
Thank
checked
you.
it out yet, real quick, can I jump in? Sorry, since you just missed
You
it.
always, making it a habit of like interrupting me. So go ahead, man.
I'm busy. If you guys get a chance, you need to, since you mentioned Justin, you need to hop over to Justin Lewandowski's Instagram channel because he posted something very interesting 2 or 3 days ago that I actually missed it, but something interesting happened to his riser that could happen to anyone. And it just goes to show the importance of pre-flights and being prepared. If that doesn't make you want to carry a reserve, I don't know what does. But hop over to Big Lou. What's your Instagram channel? Let me pull it up real quick for you guys.
Yeah, what's Justin's Instagram? What's his Instagram name? Justin what?
I'll pull it up here for you in a minute, Linda.
Oh, I saw my computer went off. I'm like, where'd I go?
Hello, Ken Stamey.
Oh, Ken Stamey in the house. What's up, brother man?
Yeah.
My goal is to be as strong and stout as Kent Stamey one of these days. Hey, it's a goal.
Because I'm on my phone on Instagram looking for him.
I would support you in that goal.
Hey, put it where we can see your password. Yeah, put it to show. No, please don't do that.
Ooh, I know what it is.
I
he
don't
doesn't-
really know what it
Doesn't
is.
know what it is.
Apparently not.
Hey, no one's watching. You can type slow. It's okay. See, mine pops in automatically. I got all my passwords like saved on mine.
Yeah, I don't. Usually it does that. New computer.
Maybe it would be Big Lou PPG.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, that is
Big
that
Lou.
what it is?
Big LEW PPG. BIG LEW PPG.
Hey, you dankies.
Thank you.
Your Dankies. Why is your Dankies not coming on and chatting with us live here on Zoom? You should. Hey, tonight we're going to be talking about wings, inspections, and repacking of reserves, which is going to be really awesome. Also, too, if you guys have my cell phone number, I actually got another cell phone that is just for the paramotor business, and that number is, I got to look at it because I don't know it yet offhand, 501-548-5758. You can text me anytime and talk paramotors on that. That is my online phone number that everybody can use. Please just don't put me on any spam lists or anything, because that would be awful. Wait a minute.
Justin
Please.
says that's him. So that's the right one, Jade.
All right, good deal. All right. So tonight we're going to be talking about wings, inspections, and repacking. I know that there's been a couple of times where people have asked about JP Tulo's incident where he actually had to throw reserve, and it was not at an SIV class. It was actually, in the wild. JP, do you want to talk about that or not?
Yeah, I mean, I'll go over it real quick, but let me log in. Hang on, bear with me.
There's all sorts of bears with you.
There it is.
Big Lou PPG. And if you're listening to this, make sure you go over to clearproptv.com and watch this so you can see what we're watching. Even though the audio is probably very interesting, sometimes the visuals are pretty cool. So what are we watching right now, bud?
This is just actually, I should probably ask Justin if it's okay if I do this. I would assume so, but is that cool with you, Justin, if I show your stuff?
Is it okay if we, put your stuff out there all over the internet so people go to your channel?
That's already all over the internet,
You're gonna
basically.
be famous and all, man. So think carefully about answering this question.
Yeah, I found him on my Instagram. I'm already following him because that's how I am.
Tony Marzano in the chat.
And JP, once again, for people that are listening to this podcast, what are we doing?
We are going to Big Lou's Instagram page. Justin LEWANDOSKI.
I'm on it.
He says it's cool. So it just goes to show, the importance of, so I don't know how well you're going to be able to see.
Good.
Oh.
I can see it pretty well.
So right here, if you see right there, there's a nut. Right there, there's a nut. Right there, there's a nut.
Mm-hmm.
All keeping your lines attached to your risers.
For all those that are listening to this, we're looking at the different riser lines and we're looking at the malleons.
So the A malleon here, where that nut should be, we can see the sky. So somehow his nut cracked. See what I did there? No, it literally broke off of his riser, and it could have been a bad situation.
Yeah, that's where all your weight is right there, is on your A
Absolutely
lines.
is on the A's, yeah. So probably it's hard to imagine what exactly, what would have been the worst case scenario. Best case scenario, obviously, would be to land without incident, which I think is what happened. But worst case scenario, say you lose your entire group of A's, you're gonna go down.
Not necessarily. In the SIVs, if we pull down the A's, that's pretty much like losing them, and that's an asymmetric, and you can fly pretty straight with an
Yeah,
asymmetric.
but pulling them down, I think they would fold up instead of being pulled down in that situation. It's difficult to imagine.
And doing things symmetrically is one thing, but if if it's not symmetrical. I mean,
Yeah, well, either way, this is why I would bring up what happened to me with my reserve toss. Um it was very similar. I broke a single line going out to the outermost part of my wing. It was the stabilo, and it I was still in the air. I didn't fall out of the sky, but it sent me into a spiral that either I was not able to get out of or I didn't have enough experience to get out of at the time, and I couldn't pull out of the spiral. So had I not had the reserve, I would have spiraled into the ground. Um, Probably wouldn't have died. But probably don't give me that face. It probably would have been like paralyzed, at least broken a couple legs. But that's why we prepare for that sort of situation, and yeah, that's why I get very nervous about not flying without a reserve, and I don't like to see it when people aren't flying without reserves, because to me it's like riding on the freeway without your seatbelt on. Like, you can do it and you'll probably be fine. It's not a big deal. But what happens, when your wheel falls off or someone swerves into you from oncoming traffic? There's so much that you can control, but there's also so much that you can't control. And to be prepared in a situation where you otherwise wouldn't have control in, I think it's extremely important to cover your bases as much as possible. And that's this whole flying thing that we do. It's stacking the deck in our favor. That's why we fly in good weather. That's why we fly on safe wings. That's why we do pre-flights. That's why we keep the maintenance up on our motors. This is just all stacking the deck in our favor to make our chances as good as possible in scenarios like this.
Tony's asking what we're looking at again.
Who is?
Tony in the chat asking
Can
you to
you-
explain what we're looking at again there.
Oh, okay. So the Malians are the Malians have a nut on them that the Malians have like this.
Right.
So you have 3 or 4 of these on each one of your wing, and it looks like that. And this nut on Justin's A riser somehow departed from the rest of the wing, so he just has an open spot right here, and it essentially just hanging where the lines could completely loop out of that, like a carabiner without the floppy thing on it. They could depart at any moment, and it's kind of difficult to see in the picture, but right here there's no nut. If you go to his Instagram page and open up the window and kind of with your phone, or you can it keeps unzooming for me here when I share it, but when I'm not sharing it, I can get a much clearer picture.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
If you don't use protection with your nut, should you have plan B?
Well, they got rubbers on there.
Well, yeah, it's important to have rubber protection right next to your nut right here. There's a rubber, that you wrap around your right next to where your nut is, where all your nuts are actually, and you use that rubber to keep the lines from sliding around. And you don't want the lines to come in contact with your nuts. Any one of them.
Okay, seriously, I do have a question. What do you do if the rubber breaks?
If the rubber
Plan
breaks,
B.
plan B.
Now, let me tell you, that's funny, but I do have to replace my rubbers quite often.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they'll dry rot and snap.
Guys.
All they are O-rings. You can get
I
them
can
from.
guarantee you, if I pull my wing out right now, there's probably 2 or 3 that are missing the rubber keeper band.
Uh-huh.
Really?
Yeah, and
My
so
first wing didn't even come with those, so I mean, it's
Really?
just yeah, it's more of a extra, I think.
you go to Lowe's. I just go to Lowe's and get.
Yeah, Lowe's, Home Depot, Napa. Don't go to O'Reilly's or Advanced Auto Parts or AutoZone. Go to Napa. They have the best O-rings.
Yeah. Napa.
So just curious, I haven't had any problems with those. But I also do send my wing in every year. So I guess this goes for wing inspections. Do we know when his wing was inspected last professionally? I mean, how many hours has he been flying that? Because I'm looking at it too, and I'm zooming in. I'm checking it out on my phone because I can definitely see it a lot better on my phone.
I don't think you're going to catch that kind of failure in an inspection. That is like they don't replace the malleons in an inspection. That's just kind of one of those things where a freak thing.
But they replace them every year when you have your inspection.
No, they replace the O-rings on the malleons. They don't replace every malleon. I'm nearly certain of that.
Oh yeah. The O-rings, but not the malleons.
Yeah, and his malleon is what failed.
So I was able to screenshot that on my phone. And I imported it here.
Perfect.
Zoom.
Thank you, Sean.
So this is what we're looking at. And yeah, I mean, number one, how's that nut even come off unless that malleon is bent?
Well, he busted it. He literally busted a nut all over his riser. I mean,
Yes, he did. He
was really excited on this flight, and
I saw that coming.
yep,
that's what she said. All right.
yeah.
So we got this right here where obviously you can see that. I mean,
Like
they're not supposed to just come off. I mean, those are
No,
like
they're not supposed to come off at all.
no. Even if you unscrew them all the way and try to screw them off all the way, they still don't come off because they're connected.
Right.
It looks like this is actually bent a little bit. I don't know how. I honestly I don't know. Is this it right here? And it pulled it this far away?
No, if you read his comments, I think he mentioned that it actually cracked off, like it broke in 2 pieces and it departed. It's no longer there. If I wonder if he could send me a picture, if he has any better pictures, Justin. If you can text them to me or something, I could put them up, or if not, we can move on to a different subject. But I didn't.
Have you ever heard of that happening?
Never.
Other than I haven't either.
Never.
I mean, I've actually looked up and seen my the screw loose, separated.
Mm-hmm.
But I've
seen them get twisted and flopped, and I've seen them without the O-ring on them. You can see sometimes they'll separate and like it'll get underneath and be like on the wrong part of the malleon, but I've never. Yeah, that's definitely a new one for me.
So
turn your background off, Sean.
I don't think you really want to see what's going on in my background. So let me turn this off real quick. So this is, I mean, I got a bunch of wings in here, so it's really easy for me to show you guys. So this is the malleon right here, right? So, you can't even hand loosen these things. I mean, they are put on there really tight. And so for him to lose this right here, I don't know how it's even possible. I mean, that's a lot of pressure right there. Just holding this together. So this is your riser, and this is your line that goes up to your wing. And that's
you said it cracked off. So how in the world would you crack that off? That's what I'm not understanding.
I think it's what goes into the manufacturing defect category. It must have had a hairline crack at, a fracture at some point, and it just fatigued over time. Typically they're not supposed to fail like that, but every 1 in a million, this is one of those things, where crap happens. And this is why I think reserves are because you have to be prepared for that 1 in a million chance. You can do everything right and fly in good weather and have good gear, but you can't protect yourself from colliding with an eagle. And which you would say that's never going to happen, but it happened, and there's video of it.
I know
on
we've
YouTube.
we've seen the videos of it.
Crap
And
happens.
it went down, right?
Yeah.
Real quick, how long have you been flying that wing before this happened? I mean, is this like a new wing? Is this a wing that has 100 hours, 300 hours? Has it been serviced at all? I really would like to know, something about the wing, if you're able to tell us in the chat. And were you flying with a reserve? All right. So since we're talking
Sean,
about,
he says he has about 10 hours on it.
wow.
Just inspected last year, but like I said, that's not the kind of thing that's going to get caught in an inspection. That's.
Tonight we're just going to be talking about paramotors. So welcome to. I was turning off all those things, and that thing was on. I am so sorry. That was my fault. Go ahead.
It happens.
Yeah.
Mark H said something that he said fractured and maybe over tightened. So
Possibly, yeah.
then that the question then would be is how tight is tight enough?
Yeah.
I think a little bit past finger tight is what they recommend. You tighten it with your finger, and then you do like a quarter turn with a wrench.
Yeah. All mine are
probably not even a quarter, maybe
always.
like an eighth of a turn, like just enough to keep it from backing off. It's not much at all.
Yours?
I wouldn't. I mean, I guess you could, but you don't want to get Loctite on. I've seen situations where Loctite can eat stuff, and I would be nervous about that getting on the actual lines.
That wouldn't be good.
But it probably, I mean, if you just put a little tiny dab, it probably wouldn't hurt.
When y'all do your pre-flights, you check your mullions, check your lines. I mean, what kind of pre-flight? I know that we all pre-flight our motors and our cages, right? How many people actually, pre-flight your wing, and how often? Anybody on the panel? Do you guys pre-flight your wings at all?
I pre-kite, but I wouldn't say I pre-flight the wing.
This weekend, we were at a
okay.
like a little mini fly-in, and then we went over to our
Okay.
instructor's school. Hang on.
Yeah.
And I flew in the morning, and I ended up just laying my wing out when we got to the school, and I did a little inspection myself. I knew I had some rocks, dirt, pebbles and stuff like that in my wing from a past landing at the school. There was like a little trail, and my wing came down half on the grass runway and half on the gravel area. And so I laid my wing out, and I checked all my lines to make sure that I didn't have any kinks in the lines. And that part I did not check, what we were just talking about. But I checked all the ties to the wing itself and the cells. So I did that.
Okay. Maybe I pre-flight the wings a lot because of the students. We go through and we check the mullions and the little rubber thing around them and stuff like that too, just so they know what's there. So, more people that go through, the more people I talk to, the more people we do it. So we check them all the time just so they know. But I don't think that a lot of people actually pre-flight their wing as much as they should.
So specifically, I understand the lines, going through the lines and the ribs and things like that. But what do you specifically look for when you're, and now when I pre-kite the wing, I am looking at the wing for anything out of the ordinary, which isn't going to tell me the whole story, I know, but so you're looking at the mullions, the lines, and what else?
We check to see if anything is frayed. We make sure that if it has tip steering, we make sure that the tip steering is free and clear to that little loop pulley and back on the magnet, because that's the first thing that will mess up your flight when you don't realize that your tip steering is wrapped around and connected. That is just as bad as a riser. Well, not as bad as a riser twist, but it could be bad depending on your launch. If it's pulling, if this is down, and everybody that has tip steering knows that pulling tip steering down this much, right, is like taking your brake and pulling it almost 12 inches, right? Is that what you would think? Tip steering, 2 inches is probably like a full foot or 12 inches of brake input. So if you got this thing wrapped around and you got 2 inches wrapped around, that could cause your inflation, especially if you're doing a forward inflation on a nil wind, part of your wing coming down, or trying to move or trying to do something. So we always double check that. We go through and just make sure that all of our rubber lines are good. And we also check to make sure that nothing is frayed on the lines. But we go into more deeper inspections over the wing. But as far as pre-flighting, we definitely do look at our tip steering to make sure that's not wrapped around. Do you anybody ever check your tip steering before you do a forward inflation? Will, do you have tip steering?
I do, and I don't normally check it because I never use it. So, but I should check it. I mean, it is subject to come loose and whatever. But no, I mean, I normally just use the lines themselves if I ever need to use tip steering.
Yeah, I definitely know that I go through a little bit more pre-flight than one normally does, only because I wanted to make sure that my students, really know everything that they probably should check. And we have a pre-flight, and that's one of the pre-flights that we do go through once a week. Speaking about inspections and stuff like that for wings themselves, I know that a lot of wings, the manufacturer says get it inspected after the first 200 hours of flight, or every year. When do you guys send in your brand new wings, or do you not? Panel, anybody? Do you send your wings in to get them inspected, or only when something happens to them do you send them in?
I have never sent a wing in.
How many
But
hours?
I don't keep it long enough to send in.
How many hours do you have on yours?
About 100 hours.
Okay.
So, and I'm about to probably end up trading that in for something else. What is there a recommended, like,
if you get a brand new wing, usually the manufacturer will say every year or the first 200 hours. So the first 200 hours, they get inspected, and then every 100 hours after that. That's usually what I see on wings. What is your wings? Have you checked your wing to see what they recommend?
No, I haven't. I'm sure I did. I read the manual, but I don't know. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, I can't remember what all my wings say, but usually it's like if you buy them brand new, it's get inspected after the first 200 hours. Jim, you're brand new at flying. How many hours you got now? I haven't chatted with you for a while. Did he just?
I don't have information for the time I spent, but I got 24 hours on my own moment.
I think you said 24 hours, but your internet's cutting out on you, buddy.
Is my internet real bad?
Yeah. Just now when you tried to talk, yeah.
My wife told me that I didn't have a choice. She's gonna want it no matter what.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said. It's that internet thing, you know. Wi-Fi sucks sometimes. It's it's 7. What's that, bud?
Can't live with it, can't live without it.
Ain't that the truth? Now, JP, you have had your reserve for how long? And have you ever got it repacked? And when do you think that you should get it repacked?
Yes, I did get it repacked once. um, because it had to be.
Right.
When I first bought it, I registered it through Advance. It's an Advance Companion SQR. It's a round square. I'm very happy with it. They say the descent rate is typically pretty high when you're going down under reserve, but I landed without a scratch, so I'm very happy with it. But typically you're supposed to, when you register it, they send you an automatic email once a year reminding you to get it repacked, which is what the manufacturer recommends, with a yearly repack and inspection, which it's to their advantage to encourage more frequent than necessary, I think, repacks, because there's never a downside to it other than it's a hassle and it costs money. But it's, it's always in your favor to do that if you've got time and extra money.
How much
But-
does it cost, JP?
I think it's around maybe $70, something like that, plus shipping. It doesn't take real long, once they do it. When I did it, I had to buy a new handle and a new deployment bag at the same time because I lost mine in the corn when it happened. You'll lose that when you throw. That was the downside to that. When you're going over water, you can tie like a floaty thing to it, which I think is what they do in the SIV. Correct me if I'm wrong, Sean.
You're right, they do.
Yeah, and you can track down the handle and get that back, but otherwise, it can be really difficult to locate. But yeah, I think it's always a good idea to listen to the manufacturer. I'm not going to recommend against that, but I would say I tended to stretch it a little bit further than necessary.
Yeah, I agree. It's been 2 years and I fly with mine. It's one of those steerable, and it's one of those, I think it's a 130 Beamer, pretty big. So I can even flare with it, so I don't have to worry about slamming down on the ground. I hate the round. Oh, round square. Tony Marzano said, "What is a round square, JP?"
That's exactly what it sounds like. It's a square. There's round parachutes and there's square parachutes, and this is just a hybrid between the two of them. It's kind of supposed to be the best of both worlds. I'll see if I can find a picture to share with you guys.
Did you get an oversized reserve? One that, wouldn't set you down so hard?
I would say I went with the biggest option that I fit into. The next lower option I would have been way over on. It was either I think 160 kilogram or 140 kilogram, and I was at like 144 all up at the time, so I went with the 160. So I had a lot of room to play with, which I think is definitely better because it's only going to slow your descent rate. And since then, I've kind of my all up weight has gone way down, and I think I'm under that 140 mark, but it's still nice to have that extra room to play with, so that you'll have a lower descent rate. And the small amount that it weighs more that you're carrying with I think is such a negligible amount. We're talking like grams, like a couple hundred grams difference between the 140 and the 160, just a few ounces probably. So I think if you're close, I think it's always better to go up. So I think it's always a good idea.
I agree. They supposed to go down at approximately 5.5 meters per second, which is about 11 feet per
Think
second.
about that per second. Like
Yeah.
that's not a soft landing.
No. Yeah, if your house
We
is
had to
11,
double check those numbers a few shows back, I remember,
yeah,
because
if your house is 11 feet high and you jump off of it and it takes you a second to get down, that's kind of how fast you're going to be coming down underneath a reserve. So you don't want to be throwing a reserve unless it's absolutely positively necessary. And if you do have a reserve, you probably want the biggest one possible. Like I said, I went with the one that's steerable only because it was bigger and I had that flare authority at the very end where I could hit that flare, and come down a little bit lighter, a little bit less than 11 feet a second. That just sounds horrible. It sounds scary, actually.
Yeah. So you can't flare yours, JP?
no, it's just there's no controls. It just you go down wherever you're going, wherever the wind takes you, and that's where you're going. So
What
yeah.
What do you guys think of those steerable ones? I'm looking at the Regalo too.
That's what that's what I got as a steerable, just because there's a lot of water over here. There's power lines, there's trees. And if I have the option or the capability of maneuvering around a pine tree and a pond and electrical lines to get to a little spot that I can flare and land in a little field, I want that little bit of extra, it's, it would suck if you had to throw a reserve and you ended up in power lines or in trees or even worse in water. So I went with it's just a little bit more expensive. I think a round or a square is about 800. A steerable, a bigger steerable like I have is 1200. And I opted to pay a little bit more money to have that possibility of having that steering if necessary and that flare at the end. I hope that I never have to throw in real life.
Yeah, is that the actual?
Yeah, Justin just texted me these pictures of what happened, and you can see it bent and everything because the strength is compromised when you don't have the nut holding those together.
Yeah.
But yikes. Absolutely yikes, man. Thank you,
Wow.
Justin, for sending me those.
Yeah, but definitely thank you for letting us show that on the podcast here. That is just scary. And he said this was a relatively new wing, right?
Yeah, less than 50 hours on it. Less than 30, I think. That's what he said.
Wow. Tony Marzano in the chat had a question. He's asking, can't you flare around by pulling on the risers?
There's no risers. It's just one. Yeah, there's just it's called a Y bridle, and they go into a Y, like right in front or above your face, and then it just everything. They're all equal lines. It's there's nothing to. You're going straight down. You're not. There's no forward motion, so there's no. It doesn't. I don't want to say that doesn't make sense, but a flare comes from transferring forward motion into kind of an upward motion, and there's no way to transfer the motion of just going down by flaring. Also you wouldn't be able to reach any of the lines. Yeah.
My manual, it suggests that I check my lines every 50 hours for the geometry. Would that be the length of the lines?
For the geometry, yeah.
Yeah, I think they're saying to check the trim.
Yeah, just Okay. And then it's pretty cool. It gives me all the lengths of all the lines so that I can adjust it or get new ones, whatever. And then also it says that every 24 months I should send it in to get it checked. Unless I'm an intensive flyer, which is like more than 100 hours per year, then I should do it more often. But I would think that it sounds like every 100 hours would be wise.
Yeah, especially if you do a lot of flying and acro. I mean, even light acro can really stretch your lines. This is a good example. I bought this brand new in 2019, and with everything that I did within that year, everything from a couple of SIVs to an acro and stuff like that, and I sent it in 2019. So this is brand new. I mean, talking about crispy and stuff, right? Never went in the water, and they failed the lines. So I was flying a brand new 2019. At the end of 2019, the lines failed because of the acro and just using it the way I did. So that's something to think about too if you get yourself a used wing. You know, I mean, let's just say it's 2021, right? So you get a brand new 2021 glider, you use the heck out of it, you go to a couple SIV courses, it's still crispy. But if you don't send it in to find out about the strength of the lines, it could fail, and you could accidentally sell somebody a new wing. Well, not a new wing. You used the heck out of it, right? Then it's still a 2021, and the person that's buying it thinks, oh, well, it's a 2021, it's gonna be fine. But if they don't get it sent in and checked, the lines could fail. That means that you could be out there and do some acro and the line will snap. So I don't do acros on my wings. When I get new wings, I just go up and I fly. I enjoy. I might come down a little bit quicker doing some wing overs or something. But I don't do heavy acro on my wings anymore because that really tears them up really quick. Who does acro here?
JP. Eric.
Eric, yeah, he does. Yeah, he does it also with his trike. When I fly a trike with mine, I can feel the lines just. I mean, I'm way close to the 100%, if not over, when I'm flying the trike with my wings, and I can tell that if I did any type, of maneuvers up there with the trike, that would put a lot more stress on my wings. So I definitely don't do any type of acro or anything like that when I'm flying the trike.
Well, David Wolf is in the house, and so is mainly Paramotors.
What's up, guys? Glad that you jumped on. Who else do we have on there? Do we say hello to everybody?
Mark H. I think we got everybody.
All right, good deal.
Hey, Will.
I gotta say hi to chatters. Hi, my chatters. Love ya. Okay, I'm done.
Hey, Will.
Yeah.
Since when does Eric do acro? You
I
guys.
was wondering if you were going to catch that.
I know, right?
He does not do acro,
No.
says Eric.
Tried to.
So there's a question, okay? That's something I've been thinking about. I don't keep a wing long enough to have it inspected. I don't do heavy acro on or anything like that. I'll do wing overs. I'll do a spiral every now and then, but I'm thinking that, if you keep a wing for a year, then sell it. Keep it for a year, then sell it. And my line of thinking is it gives somebody an opportunity to buy a good wing at a decent price, because they ain't cheap. And then just kind of keep a new wing going every year. that make sense? My line of
Absolutely.
my reasoning.
Absolutely.
Do you
And
do
it keeps
that, JP?
it keeps you on a fresh wing. No, but I definitely agree with what you're saying there. I tend to be more sentimental with my
Yeah.
gear, I guess. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I've still got my first wing and every wing in between, but I definitely think you've got it's a good idea what you're doing. And it also allows you to move around and gather, experience on multiple different platforms, and it keeps you on, fresh setup every time, safe setup. New is good in what we
Yeah.
do. So
Well, with the
like,
technology too, right? It's always
absolutely,
evolving.
yeah.
I like new. Here's a reserve throw in case you guys have not seen a reserve throw. So this is me throwing a reserve, and look how it just sort of falls out. Boop. Now I'm still going forward, and once it inflates, then everything goes down in front of me like this. Once you are underneath the reserve, as you can see on the top right, that little thing, you got a stall ball, and you got to pull that your wing in because you don't want it to reinflate. Because if it reinflates, it's no good. See, now look behind me. There's nothing to grab on those round reserves.
Mm.
There's just nothing to grab. It's behind you. The only thing that you have time for really is to grab your wing and pull it in. And before you know it, you're going to be.
And the drink.
Yep. Now, thank goodness I was doing this SIV and going in the water because I went down quick. I mean,
Did that hurt?
no, I mean, it didn't hurt, but I could tell that if this was on land, look at how fast I'm going. So imagine that being on land.
Oh man.
So,
Well, how about what is it, tuck and roll or whatever? There's a technique you're supposed to use.
PFL, I think is what it's called. Parachutal fall or
Yeah, so some technique that's supposed to keep from breaking bones.
yeah. Let me see if I can find.
yeah, we had to do that when when I was in the military. They pushed us out of the airplane, and we had pretty much that type of parachute. And thank God I was younger and didn't have a bunch of extra weight on me, and I was able to do it. But I always ended up with some really bad ankles for the rest of my life since I did that, and never really wanted to do anything parachutal before. But I don't think it'd be fun going down on a reserve on land at all. Wait a minute, now you went down reserve on land, right, JP? How'd that
Well, it
work
was
for you?
it was a very healthy cornfield, so I think that was good because it softened things quite a bit, and yeah, like I said, I walked away without a scratch. So I bent my cage just a tiny bit. I was able to bend it back no problem. So yeah, this is what you're supposed to do. Keep your arms. You're not supposed to try and catch yourself with your arms at all. You're just supposed to kind of go limp and kind of roll out of it. Parachute landing fall is what they call it, a PFL. And then for whoever was asking for it before, there was the comparison of the difference between a round square and the round square. So
It really is a cross between the two, isn't it?
yeah, it's literally exactly what you would think.
Now, those would give you some better. I mean, why would you have the round square? I'm trying to figure
I
that
think
out.
it has maybe faster opening, or maybe I to be honest with you, I don't know the
Okay.
benefits and features of everything has its ups and downs, I think. So
Well,
Has,
those are
has
those
anybody
are
looked at,
those are for the downs.
Yeah.
Not so much for the ups.
Mhm.
has anybody looked at those ones that are kind of like in the shape of a heart?
Yeah, that's
Well-
what that's the regalo. That's
That's a
steerable,
that's a steerable.
which
So
is
Yeah,
what
but
did
yeah,
you
it does
throw?
look like a heart.
NASA actually used that design, I think, in the 60s, the regalo.
So what did you throw, Sean? That was just a regular round, right?
Yeah, that was the SIV. So I threw their reserve while I was on their wing, so I didn't have to use my stuff, which was really awesome.
Hey, James. Hey, Kelby Cox.
Made it just in time to say goodbye. It's almost 8 o'clock. I mean, we got just a couple more minutes. We already been chatting for an entire hour. How about that? That's crazy.
Is this fun? I love my Monday nights with everybody.
Yeah, it was really, really good. I really enjoyed tonight. We definitely need to talk
Yeah.
more about repack, wings inspection. Maybe next time we can bring a bunch of people on. David Wolf's in the house. What's up, buddy? Fly Baby Fly PPG. Who else do we have in here? Aaron
Thank you, Chad,
I.
for joining us.
Aaron I, the flying guy.
Oh, there was a, I wanted to, if I could.
Yeah. Was there a
I
question?
think it was PPG, the other Nick, said that he had a nice flight today, but he experienced sync for the first time.
He experienced sync.
Sync for the first time. I'm assuming on landing. I don't know the details there, but thought maybe we could just touch that topic. And
Well, I usually find the sync when I'm flying midday because you got the thermals that are pulling up, and then of course, you got hot air up, cold air coming down. So, if you're coming into a thermal, and you do like a midday thermals, here's a good nice little thermal going up. You got the cold air coming down, so you might get that sync, but then you should be able to get that lift. But I've also noticed too that there's a lot of sync around ponds. Is my internet okay?
yeah,
Okay.
sounds great.
Yeah, so I sometimes get a lot of sync around ponds and small bodies of water. Like I was over at Bad Apples and I was going right next to the pond, and you saw that where I pretty much went down almost 50 feet straight down.
I think they tend to suck heat, out of the. It's like I don't know, maybe. What?
Well, when you're at the ocean, the air is flowing from the ocean to the land because the land is the low pressure, right? And then it switches at nighttime. So maybe it has something, maybe the air is coming down on the water, or it's just not as much pressure.
Over at the beach, you usually have some really nice laminar winds, and you don't get the crazy stuff like we do, over here in Arkansas when you're flying midday. Usually in the mornings, the morning time that most people fly a paramotor, 2 hours after sunrise and 2 hours before sunset. Those are usually the nicest times to fly because you don't have all those, thermals and rotor and, crazy winds and stuff. I tell you, you can tell the difference. As soon as 10 o'clock rolls around in the morning, there's a big difference in flying. And if anybody else flies midday, you can attest it's you get a lot of lift and a lot of sink in some crazy places too that you're not expecting it either. So the other Nick, where were you flying and at what time was it?
That's what I just asked him.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I'm curious too.
Great minds think alike.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm actually trying to look back and see if I can find that video. There it is. Wow, almost 5,000 hits on this one. It's only a 2-minute video where I show the sync. And of course, whenever Nick replies, we'll chat with him and try to figure out what was going on that day. Is David Wolf still in the house? David Wolf, do you do any midday flying? I think he does. Where do you
Wonder if
get?
he does any snow flying up there.
Oops, what's that?
Wonder if he does any snow flying up there in Ohio.
Is it snowing?
No.
Oh,
When we were talking the pre-show, we were talking about snow flying.
oh. All right, so let me go ahead and share this real quick. So here I was over at Bad Apples, and I was flying right next to the pond, and I got a little bit of a lift, and then all of a sudden I got some sink and went down about 50 feet. Whoop. Right there,
Oh yeah.
straight down. And of course, like I said, you got warm air rising, cold air goes down. So, usually as what I have noticed when I'm flying, if I'm flying next to something like this, like a pond, I can feel it on the edges. And I was trying to explain what I felt. So here we go. Got the lift, you got the sink right next to it. And the way I got out of it, as I gunned as I went down, that way I'm using the pendulum effect to swing myself back up. If I was any lower, I probably would have hit.
The front edge of that glider looked like it wiggled just a little bit there. Can you play that again?
Yeah.
That's a real good example.
That's some serious sync right there. And whoever videoed this, thank you so much. I think it could have been Flying Flamingo Jade. Did you record that for me?
She's everywhere. She probably did.
You probably did, but
This shot, I think I might have. I would have to go back and,
I think you did. So thank you for that.
Yep.
So I had a chest cam on, so we had 2 different angles, which was really cool to be able to link those together so you could actually see the downdraft.
That looked pretty spooky, Sean.
It wasn't the first time.
So have you ever hit the ground from one of those things?
Absolutely not. I always make sure that I'm flying high enough because, well, I know what's going to happen. So I always make sure I'm high enough so when I do hit that sink, I just gun it and I swing out from underneath of it and avert death.
How high do you stay?
I stay higher than the trees. See the treetops? I try to stay higher than treetops, so definitely over 50 feet. 90 feet to 100 is probably safer during midday because you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, there was very little forward motion there. It was like straight down. At one point, it looked like.
Yeah, so much fun.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, why else would you midday fly unless you enjoyed the roller coaster ride? And yeah, went almost vertically straight down. But I gunned it just in time so I could use that pendulum effect. But anyways, yeah, that's the sync. So did Nick reply? Do we know when he flew, where he flew, and what kind of sync did he get?
He hasn't replied yet.
All right. He
But I
probably
mean, the answer obviously is if it is going to be power, right? So what are
forward momentum, and it really just depends too, because I had my trims all the way in. Here's something we probably need to talk about is trims in, trims neutral, trims out, and when do you trim in, neutral, and out, and why do you trim in, neutral, and out? So who flies with their trims in mostly? Who takes off and lands with trims in? 9 times.
I do, but my manual says that I'm supposed to do it halfway or mid. But because they had reasoning behind it, but I never did it because I was first instructed having it all the way in. And so I'm trying now to do it midway, but I come in pretty fast.
Yeah, I agree. You can definitely come in pretty darn fast when you are trimmed out or neutral for sure. One of the things that I've done is I've tried I tried it all. I wanted to see what would happen if I came in. Okay, nil wind, right? If you trim all the way in nil wind, you're going as slow as you can. So you can come in really, really super slow, and you can almost come in and go straight down to a nice little butterfly landing. Or if you like to do the swoop like Tucker does, I see his trims, he's trimmed all the way out. He's got full speed coming in, burns it all off, does a little foot drag, and he does amazing things. When I have wind and there's some good wind, like let's say between 10 and 15 miles an hour wind, right? Trims are usually neutral to out when I take off and land. If it's nil wind, I pull the trims all the way in, because even on nil winds on a forward inflation, 8 to 10 steps, I'm in the air. If you have it on neutral, you're going to do probably 15, 20 steps. And if you have all the way out, you might not even be able to get off the ground. So when you're on a track, when you're on a trike, you can pretty much do whatever you want to, but I try to stay neutral on a trike. How about flying Flamingo Jade? You fly a trike. What do you do for your trims when you fly your trike?
I usually do the neutral
Uh-huh.
on takeoff and landing. I don't, I guess when I hit a wind wall is when I work with my trims.
Mhm.
Otherwise, I don't mess with it too much. I know one time when we were doing when I won the beanbag drop, I worked with my trims in, and that was actually the first time I worked with my trims in, and that was different for me.
Wow.
But otherwise, I'm usually pretty at a neutral on takeoff and landings.
Okay. And Jim, you said that you are trims in usually because you're what, nil wind or very light wind?
Usually, yeah. But my wing is designed as a paramotor wing or a paraglider wing as well. So they were saying in the manual that if you're trimmed in, that's designed for thermaling because it'll give you the most lift. And also the sink rate is the highest because you're not going forward as much as you're kind of just dropping. So I think that's why they're saying keep it neutral when you take off and land. But I've been doing it trimmed in the whole time. I like it.
Interesting. And will fly. How about you? Where do you have your trims when you fly?
I have never taken off full trims in or landed full trims in. If it's no wind, and this is something that Eric and I were talking about at Bad Apples. So I've just started, kind of messing with it. But if it's no wind, I'll trim in, but just a little bit, not a lot. And same thing on landing. I'll trim in just a little bit, just to give me that extra little bit of flare. I don't have a problem with the flare on the Colorado so much. So yeah, on the next no wind day, I kind of think I'm going to try a full trim in landing just to see what it feels like.
Oh, definitely do a trim in, full trim in during a takeoff. And you're going to take 5 or 6 steps because of your weight and the Moser 185, the wing you're flying. It'd probably take you 8 steps max on nil wind.
So on a nil wind day, full trim in, you're saying the wing come up slower, but provide more lift or
Not
come up
involved. Be very lifty,
faster and more lift?
very lifty
Yeah.
at slower speeds.
Yeah. Well, I'll definitely try it. I mean, it can't hurt.
Yeah, when I am foot launching, I will do trims in. Now I am flying. This is very important that I don't think I've heard yet. I am flying a MacPara Charger, and I am taking off and landing full trims in. And it really doesn't matter what everybody's doing. It is what your book that comes with that wing is recommending. That is the most important. When you go to Nick LaBeouf, when we were talking to him, he actually lands with his trims mostly out. He comes in fast to get more flare authority to actually land slower. And he told me to do it, and I tried it, and I could see where he's correct on that. I just didn't have the talent. I ran out of talent. So I look like a hot air balloon at the end of my brakes. But it's all depends on what the manufacturer is recommending is
For
how
that
it
wing.
actually
Yeah.
should be done.
Yeah, that's what I fly too as a Charger, and it suggests neutral for landing and taking off. And I think that might be part of my problem when I have it trimmed all the way in. I notice I got the brakes don't kick in for a little bit more. Like I have to pull the brakes a lot further before I feel the pressure. And I don't think my arms are long enough to get all the way down when my trims are all the way in. I can't, it's almost impossible for me to stall the wing.
Hey, Jim, on mine, I will tell you, this is just me and what I did is I shortened my brakes 3 inches equally on both sides. And there is times on a nil wind, I will take a wrap and I will jab those down to my knees when I'm landing. You can stall that wing, and that I found I can do it, but I have long arms. So I'm able to get my arms down there by my knees. But if you need to take 2 wraps to get, that full thing, maybe you should shorten your brakes a little bit more. But I kind of did 3 inches because it worked out perfect for me because it works good. You have to remember, I also use this exact same wing when I use the trike. So with a trike, if you have your brakes, of course, too short, I mean, it feels like you're reaching for the world up there to grab onto your brakes, and it gets uncomfortable. So this was a comfortable area for me, so I can use it for my trike and also for foot launch.
Consult consult a professional before
Yep.
shorten brake lines. And
yeah, my instructor suggested that we might look at doing that, but so I'll definitely do that with him if I do it.
if you
I'm
short,
going to try the wrap thing first, and we'll see how that works.
yeah,
Yep.
I suggest taking that wrap, because if you just take a small wrap and you actually, you know what? I think I got, all right. So here we go. Right. So here is your line, right? And here's your brakes. Okay. So if you take a wrap, this is how much line you are wrapping. So you got almost a foot extra of flare authority when you just go 1 wrap. So if you want to just take a wrap, you have this much more room or this much more flare authority when you're coming in for landing. That's something to think about before you start shortening up brake lines, because if you shorten up a brake line, right, and it's all the way tight, and then you decide, hey, what's this speed bar thing? I want to hook this thing up. If your brakes are too tight and you push speed bar, your wing is going to collapse because your brake lines are going to be pulling when you depress that speed bar and collapse your wing. So please be very, very careful when you are doing any sort of modification to your brake lines or any lines. Also, too, all your lines have to be tied properly. If you do not tie your line properly, it could lose about 25% of its strength. So if this thing's supposed to hold 400 pounds, right, this line, it's actually more than that, but you tie it incorrectly to that malleon, now it's actually only holding 300 pounds before it snaps. So be very, very careful about how you're tying your lines in also.
Yeah, and also, Jim, if you want to figure out what that 3 inches will do, just grab the top. You can do this with your throttle in your hand. Grab the top of your loop and use that as your brakes. Because on the Mac Paras, they have a loop and then they have that other loop that Velcros in. So you're not using that Velcro loop, right? You're just using the main. Okay. So grab the top of the of your brake toggle and use that. That would be approximately your 3 inches.
Sounds good. I'll do that.
You'll notice a big difference right away. But Sean's right. You don't want to do anything that'll impede with the speed bar. But I know that on the Chargers, those things are loose. I don't know anybody that has not, and even Jade is ready to shorten her brake lines because of that. But yeah, definitely do that with your instructor. He'll show you how to do it, to mark it with a Sharpie so you know where you're going. And yes, definitely, make sure that if you are using speed bar, make sure it doesn't impede with that, because like Sean said, if you apply that speed bar and that thing comes down and that loop gets caught in that pulley, you will pull that front end of that wing down. Or I'm sorry, you'll pull the back end of the wing down, and you can't do that while on speed bar.
Right.
So
thank you. I'll definitely try that. I think I'm flying tomorrow. So.
That's good.
I'm hoping so. Oh, wait, I have to go to and moderate a show.
No,
Oh, yeah, it's your show tomorrow.
not my show.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
Eric's
I
show.
got to be on a show tomorrow. I was talking about Jade's. I thought it was Jade. I get them all confused. Anyways, yeah, try that, Jim. I think you'll notice a huge difference and you'll slow way down. Just be very careful that you don't balloon, because that's what hurts.
Yeah, I do that quite a few times too. I can't quite get that flare just right yet.
Practice.
Sean
What-
Nasker in
what'd
the
you do?
house.
Sean Nasker's in the house. Is that what you said?
Yeah, Clark's Video, Paramotor, Mahoney. And there's one more, Steve. Good pastor. Yeah, man.
We also got I see a question in the chat too. Does anyone fly with a PG wing and no trims? I have a Gin Vantage 3. It is a hybrid. It's a mountain wing and motor wing. So it has trims that are maybe 2 inches, and you can pull trims all the way in and out and still use your brake lines because it has no tip steering. That's the closest I've ever got to something like that. How about you guys?
The tip steering?
No, it says, does anybody fly with a PG wing and no trims? Does anybody fly with a wing without trims?
Never have.
Okay. Yeah, that's the only one I've ever flown that has like almost no trims, and I can go trims all the way out and full speed bar and still use the brakes fully.
Sean Nasker says the Mojo 4. I mean, yeah, the Mojo's got trim, but I mean, isn't that pretty much just for looks?
Probably.
I mean, isn't it a real small trim range on the Mojo?
I've never flown a Mojo.
I haven't either.
Wait a minute, or did I?
My Pegasus is a paragliding wing, and it has about 1.5 inches of trimmers. Like, without exaggerating, it's got like that much of a trim range. You know how I measure?
Uh,
That's how I know.
All right.
Jeez.
Anywho, guys, it's always a pleasure.
We can
love
take
you.
we can take a screenshot real quick.
Oh, I can do that. I can do
Okay.
that.
Wait.
But we're going to take a screenshot and call it a night. When JP goes, we all got to go. Because we got a show tomorrow, right? I mean, we got a show with PPG Lear. And then the next day, we got a show with Flying Flamingo Jade. Did you
Ready?
take a picture already?
1, 2, 3. Perfect.
I love taking these pictures because I can see the difference in like my face now to like before when I had my big grandpa fat face.
A grandpa fat face.
I did. I had a big old grandpa fat face.
Oh my God. I was going to say, like, man, I'm so glad now. Yeah, I don't see that fat face anymore. Ah, stop.
So, Flying Flamingo Jade, you want to unmute and tell us about Eric's show and your show for the next 2 days?
Eric can talk about his show, which is coming up tomorrow night, that he's helping out Never Trust a Skinny Chef Shane. Eric?
Yeah, so Shane just wants to take a little bit of a hiatus. So I offered to step up and take on this show and help out because I want to keep the paramotor community and give them something to do on a Tuesday night because we have no life. Anyways, I have reached out. I have reached out to 2 of my friends, Will and Mark. I pronounce his name wrong, so I don't bother. McElroy. Anyways, and they're going to help me out, hopefully. And it shouldn't cost me too much for them to help. But that'll be tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Time. Wherever you live, you're going to have to do the math to find out what time it's on. And it'll be a good time. Actually, we're going to be talking about a fly-in that Jade and I just went to, and then some kind of good, exciting news on what our future in the paramotoring, our paramotoring future is going to be about. And that's it.
All right. So I guess we just go over to Shane's channel and watch your show. Is that how that works?
You can, but you're not going to see much content because you won't see anything. You're going to have to go to ppglear.com and subscribe. And hopefully I'll get more subscribers because I only have 42.
Can you spell that? Can you spell that for us for people that are maybe driving and they want to go to this?
Yes, PPG Lear. PEEPEEGEELEAR. That's PPG Lear.
Oh, stop yourself.
Oh, P as in
Oh,
Paul, P as in Paul, G as in jerk.
George.
Oh, George. Lear as in jet. PPG Lear.
LEAR for those that are waiting for that one.
My head hurts after all that.
All that PPPP. So make sure you go to ppglear.com and they'll forward over to Eric's YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe and hit that bell notification.
Hey, Eric, can I make a suggestion?
Yes, sir.
FYI, you would think, saying that your content is good for kids would be a good thing,
But it's not.
it's not. So right now, for instance, it's not allowing me to ring the bell because it's saying that content for kids, you're not able to ring the bell. And it also narrows down your audience field.
Yes.
Okay,
So-
JP, I will have my people reach out to you because I don't do any of this.
I got it,
Okay.
JP.
And it's kind of creepy.
My content is just for children.
I'm dying right now. Oh my God.
Hey, I just got a new subscriber. It's
Oh,
Kelby Talks.
I'm telling you, man, when you have a large family, it pays off sometimes.
There we go.
I guess so. Right on. So Yeah,
Learjet Films.
Learjet Film. I love it.
yeah. So just watch, and then when I'm only doing this, as I said, it's a temporary thing unless Shane doesn't want to come back. But he said he'll do it once a month, and just to because we need sanity here. I don't want to totally wreck his thing that he started, but I just want to keep the Paramotor family together. So
That's right.
Have you checked to make sure that you can stream to a children's only channel? You
my
may-
people will come and check out your people, and we'll figure it out.
I hope so. This is a tomorrow thing, so you better.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Your people and my people and our people.
I have no clue. I was just told to show up.
Yeah, that's not going to work. I don't think.
No.
Well, then Will will be doing a new show on Tuesdays. And
Hey, Matt Sloper. Hey, Austin Smith in the chat.
Aaron, I subscribe too. We're going to have to be giving out some Lear gear on our show then.
Ooh, I like that Lear gear.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lear gear.
Spear the Lear gear.
Yeah, I like that. That's got a nice ring to it. Lear gear.
So
Here.
Yeah.
yeah, stay tuned. And then Jade's show is on Wednesday, and it's no good. So
What?
she'll talk about her show.
The flamingo gets out her talons.
It looks
Is it my
like
turn now?
it looks like Tony and Angela are like they're having some serious winds in Nevada right now.
Yeah, 65 mile per hour gust.
What, like 32, 40 mile an hour winds or whatever.
There you go. I put it in the chat, so you just click that ppglear.com and it'll take them over to us. Take it over to your channel and make sure you subscribe. And once he fixes his channel, make sure you hit that bell notification.
Oh, is this all the chat right now I'm seeing? Like everybody's on there right now?
This is my favorite thing to do. It's like an infinite
I
chat
love
loop.
this. Well, I don't know how to do it from my phone and all
Makes
that.
everyone think their screen is broken.
It's hard enough to
Anywho.
tell the laptop. Okay, hi Tony, hi Fly, hi Aaron, I, Kelby, JP, oh, not JP.
Aaron I, the fly guy.
All right.
Eric's got 47 subscribers now.
What?
I know, it's crazy.
Get them to 50 real quick, huh?
OMG.
We can get him to 50.
Exciting.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, man. We
Doing
just
it?
need 3 more people to subscribe to get him up to 50.
Good job, Aaron, I. That's right.
And if you're listening to this on your favorite podcasting app, please go over to www.ppglear.com and hit that subscribe and see what number you are. Right now it's 47. Hey, you might make it up to 50 or 60 or even 100. Let us know in comments down below.
Yeah.
Yes, please do that so I stop whining.
You tired of hearing yourself whine?
Pretty much.
Oh, killing me.
He wants some
Walter.
cheese. He wants some cheese with that wine.
Walter says in the chat, you guys are funny, crazy. He just
So-
figured that out?
That sounds like Walter, but he would normally say that upside down, so we couldn't hear it right.
Seanster. Hi, Seanster. That would be good to have this going on the show all night, because I'd be like yelling at everybody on chat.
Oh, and in case you didn't know, I
Wow.
got a new phone for the paramotor business. So if you want to get up with me and text me and be a chat friend on my actual phone, it's
Be a
501
chat friend.
501. That's area code
Okay, wait, I'm writing it down, chat friend.
548 5758. See how many people text me? Let me see.
I
Nobody.
will.
Nobody. Oh, Yeah, I just-
Oh,
You just gave him the number.
I gave it earlier. Thing.
that's
But, apparently,
501 548 5758.
49 subscribers, Eric.
Woo!
Just need one more and you got
JP,
50,
check
brother.
Eric's again. We took him off of Barney and Fred Flintstone.
Yeah, I just I saw that and I was able to ring the bell. So
All righty.
excellent.
So do I get rid of the van and the candy?
Free candy on the side of that van, eh?
So I can go over there and actually hit the bell notification? What?
Yep, it works
Should
too.
be able to.
Oh my God, it works. I hit the bell notification. Woot, woot. No wonder I haven't been getting his videos when they pop up 9 months ago.
Oh, see?
Yeah, it would have nothing to do with me not producing videos. It would just,
Hit the bell.
You just need one more subscriber.
Bell.
See who's going to be lucky number 50.
Yeah, if you're lucky number 50, you might get some Lear gear when you go and check out the live stream tomorrow. So what kind of Lear gear are we looking at?
hey, we got all types of good stuff. We got a few, let's see, we got some shirts, vinyl stickers, everything related to paramotors.
Cool.
Wow, be there or
Excited, man. I'll be there.
be there, be
New wings or anything like that, Eric?
new wings. I love it.
Yeah.
No, I'm not giving away any wings.
Aw.
Hey, and if I'm giving away a wing, I will tell everybody right now in video land, it's going to Kelby. I want to see him fly again. So
You have 50.
Yeah.
You have
I
50
do.
subs.
Bill is so happy.
Kelby. Kelby.
Yeah.
All right, who just subscribed? I'm curious in the chat. Which one of you
Wait,
did?
it should say somewhere here on one of
Hang
these
on.
32.
I love it.
No way. Was that him?
Boo.
That was 46.
No, that's him. But it said, I think that
Maybe
is-
Matt Sloper.
No, I think it was Kelby.
I thought you
Wow.
Oh, no,
really?
Kelby already did it.
Hey, I'm getting a bunch of people that are texting me on my new phone. That is so cool. Hey, if you text me, make sure you leave your name so I can put you on the phone.
You're like, who is this?
I mean, appreciate the hey, what's up, but I don't know. I guess I'll just name you what's up, and I'll just text you back. Hey, what's up? What's up?
All right, you're going in my contacts right now, dude.
But you already.
No turning back.
Oh, I got Sean's number. Yay!
Yay!
So who was number 50? I really want to know. What was the last person that subscribed to Eric?
So
To
I
put
would
him over
really
the
like to
top.
know too, and I'm trying to figure it out.
Apparently, Eric Lear said you won a brand new wing of your choice.
Yeah.
Jade was number 50.
Hey, let's see here.
How the hell do you figure out who is 50?
Scroll
Hey,
down,
I'm putting your phone number in here right now.
right in this area.
I just put Sean's in mine so I can chat with the Sean.
The Seanster?
I think
What's
we were up to 31 viewers,
Winnie Winnie
and
guy.
17 thumbs up.
That's cool. Oops, I want to do that.
All right, guys, love you. Gotta run.
Oh,
Hey, man.
See you, JP.
have a
Yeah.
good one, buddy.
I take off. You guys have a great evening.
All right, don't forget that you won a brand new wing from the Lear gear tomorrow. So make sure you go there and
Yeah, don't forget.
yeah, don't forget to get your. He's
Okay, Sean, I'm texting you right now.
Well, you know that you got my real number. You guys all have my real number too. I mean,
Yeah, I got your real number, baby.
We got your number.
Yeah, we know, right, Will?
Yeah.
Yeah, but should I click on that?
No, stay out of that. That's for.
I go,
I
it's
know,
me,
but
Paramount.
It's not in here.
I know.
yo, Matt texted me too. What's up, Matt? Thank you, buddy.
I don't
Oh
know.
my God, his
I don't
phone's
click on
blowing
it.
up now.
It's blowing up.
Give your phone number out to everybody. Jeez.
So we have to get 50 text messages to Sean.
And you get a new wing.
You get a new one.
You get some Lear gear.
Hey, where can he find that? Because we're in the YouTube studio and there's only like 2 or 3 names in there, but they're different dates.
As far as finding out who you're, I don't know.
That's confusing.
I don't know. I think that you have to log into it on your computer.
Yeah,
And to log into the computer, you go to your YouTube studio. I'm trying to go there right now since we're here, and you go to
down towards the bottom.
I think it might be under settings. I mean, they changed everything up again, so let me see. Is it under settings? No, I don't think it's under settings.
Yep, go to channel, I think it is. No, and then advanced settings. No, that was for the kid.
Oh man. I don't know. They changed it all up again.
Because he just had it where it said 50 subscribers on the top, but then you scroll down.
Right here.
Analytics, maybe.
See live count.
Oh, my live count is 20,900. Cool.
Well, I'm close to you there.
You are really close, dude. I don't know where all my.
Hey, I hit 202 subscribers.
Go Jay.
Trying to catch up to you, Will.
Right, you wait. Game on now, Will.
I want you to.
She can be hustling. She can be like, look at me now.
You guys got to check out my short video that I put out 22 hours ago. I have over 1,000 views on it.
Those shorts are pretty awesome. I put up a couple shorts just for fun because, it's in beta, right? So, all right, only 15 seconds. And I put one up, it was like almost 3,000 views, like almost, immediately. I'm like, holy crap, this is better than all my other videos that I put up that I actually put time and effort into. So, yeah, those shorts are pretty cool.
I did a lot of them.
Did you get my text?
Did I get your text?
Yeah.
Yes.
It needs Paramount. I did respond. Hello.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, there we go. I responded. Will Fly says hey.
Oh, okay. All right. I forgive you. Okay.
And I'll even share my photo. Your dankies. What's up, yo dankies?
Oh, thank you.
Good deal. So,
Cool.
I've got people in my new paramotor. Okay. So, in case you didn't know, the new company that we're starting is called the Flight Brothers, and we are putting together some pretty interesting things. We're getting the 3D printer. We're making throttles. We're making strobes. All sorts of cool paramotor paraphernalia. We're actually making paramotors, and we're trying to figure out different trikes and paramotors and wheels and stuff. So it's been pretty fun. I've been pretty darn busy working on all these new projects. So I can't wait till we actually have a prototype to show you guys. And as soon as we do, I will be the flight tester and test it out, see if it works. I will bring my reserve for sure.
Nice.
Wow, is it really 8:40? We've been talking for an hour and 40 minutes already?
No.
What if
Time
we
flies.
Time flies, so do we, right?
Yep.
That's a new shirt. Time flies, so do I. That's gonna be my next one.
There you go.
Time flies, so do I.
Time flies, so do I. Oh, write that down. That's right. I like that. Could make that like in a magnet. I need more magnets for my refrigerator.
No, you don't.
Time flies, so
Plenty
do
of
I.
Well, you know that we already have the merch store over at iloveppg.com, right?
Oh, I forgot. Do they have magnets though?
Yes.
They do?
Yes, we do.
Let me write it down. I love PPG what?
.com.
Okay. I'll check it out.
iloveppg.com. The
Yeah,
sound.
cool. That's right. You're
Fly
awesome.
baby fly PPG. Thy sound great Simon PBF paramotor brother of fly. I need glasses. I can't really read what that says. I think that's
Where
what
are your glasses, Grandpa?
I put them. I was clipping my dog's nails. I was giving them the spa treatment.
Yeah.
You know, if you have puppies,
Okay.
and we have two, they need their nails trimmed at least once every 30 days, or they end up like talons. I'm like, what is this coming out? I mean, it looks
Then
like
they stuck on your
easy.
feet and everything. It's great.
I know, right?
Yep.
Walter says, "Code, please, dude. It's in our messenger. You're part of the messenger group, our Clear Prop TV guest chat. We always put that in there. But we're going to be signing off here in about 2 minutes because I need to spend time with my wife. Today she did not have to work. She has banker hours, well, because she's a banker, and
Okay.
today was a day off for her. So I need to go over and hug and smooch on my wife because she's over there like now going, how long are you going to be on your podcast tonight? You know, I've been here all day. Not really. But I probably need to go smooch on the wife, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Probably. So Will Fly, you can find Will Fly at willflyppg.com. You can find Linda Anderson over at paramomusa.com. Flying Flamingo Jade over at paramotorgirl.com. And her husband, Eric, you can find him over at PPG Lear, like the Lear jet, LEAR.com. And tomorrow's the show. Wednesday is Flying Flamingo Jade show. And Thursday, there's something going on. What is that Thursday thing? What?
Paraglidingtalk.com.
.com. I love it.
Robert Michaels.
Awesome.
Awesomeness.
Well, it's been a really fun evening. I'm really glad that y'all showed up tonight. I know that, I mean, most of the United States, it was really nice and definitely flyable, but you guys came here, you hung out with us, and I really appreciate you. And we know that you didn't have to, but you did. Appreciate y'all, and thank you guys for being on the panel. Thank you for everyone talking in the chat, giving us something to talk about. All the questions and just the all around paramotor community that we have, and I really appreciate you all. I really truly do. Love you all. Don't forget tomorrow over at where ppglear.com, Wednesday over at paramotorgirl.com, and Thursday
Paraglidingtalk.com.
she says it's so nice. Y'all have a great evening, and thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Good
Good
night.
night, everyone.
Peace out. Well, anybody have anything else to say before we go? I should have asked. No? Okay, good, because I felt awful. I'm like, oh no.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye,
Good
guys.
night.